No one's asked me about Pokemon Go. Hello everybody and what is going on? So today I thought it would be a good idea to do an Ask Mate video. I put out a post on Instagram yesterday asking for people to ask and we got a lot of questions. Probably more questions than every other Ask Mate video combined, which is actually amazing. So I'd just like to say a big massive thank you to everyone who asked a question. Okay, let's jump into the questions. And the first question that I got asked, I'm going to answer the ask, is favourite brand. If you frequent my videos, you will know that I talk about one specific brand all the time, and that is Champion. You done know. And the next question that got asked is your favourite brand of clothing and your favourite trainer. For the first part of that question, refer back to the previous answer, and my favourite trainer. Now, I have answered this question before in a previous Ask Mate video, but I think I did actually say that it changes every 5 minutes, and it has, again. At this very moment in time, I would have to say that my favourite trainer, shoe, sneaker has to be the Nike Air Tempos. It's summer now, Pokemon goes out, you need a good walking shoe. Favourite skate brand? At the moment, my favourite skate brand has to be Quasi, simply because I bought a Quasi board from Slam City Skates in Enfield, you done know. So for hardware, I would have to say Quasi. Clothing wise, that is a whole different can of worms. What is your favourite item of clothing ever? That is actually a really hard one to answer. Out of all the clothes I've ever seen and ever wanted, to pick one, probably anything they sell at Round 2. If you don't know what Round 2 is, it's this sick shop in America where they buy, sell and trade like streetwear clothes, vintage clothes and that sort of stuff. So I kind of answered that question without answering your question, but it's a really hard one to answer. If you could get any outfit for free, what would it be and why? If I could choose any outfit to wear for free, it would have to be what Leonardo DiCaprio was wearing in Romeo and Juliet. Absolutely love the movie, love the clothes in the movie. If you haven't seen it before, then ask your GCSE English literature teacher to show that to you straight away. And if they don't, they're not doing their job properly. Badman movie, they've got a Shakespeare script, Hawaiian shirts and guns. And the next question that got asked is, where do you go thrift shopping? PS, can you share all your clothes with me? Because they are all so sick. Firstly, I just want to say thank you, but unfortunately, my sister has beaten you to it simply because she steals all of my clothes without asking, so that's a shame. Otherwise I would have. So, where do I go thrift shopping? Now, I get asked this question quite frequently, but to be honest, I've never really addressed it in a video, so I'm just gonna come out with it. When I say that I've got something from the thrift store, it doesn't necessarily mean that I got it from an actual thrift store. I kind of use that as a general term for like second-hand clothes shops. So, thrift stores to me include charity shops, actual thrift stores, car boot sales, flea markets, that sort of thing. So really, the question is, where do I get all of these vintage clothes and second-hand clothes from? Luckily for me, there is a lot of charity shops in my local area. Also, when I'm in London, I do like to check out some actual thrift stores. East End thrift store is quite good, and also Hackney Flea Market. So if you're ever in London, check those twos out. Otherwise, go to as many charity shops as you can and just sieve. You have to sieve through all of those rails to see if you can get something nice. What got you into vintage clothing and thrift shopping? My mum and my sister have always gone to charity shops. They love it. And one day my sister came back with one of these old vintage t-shirts, and I was just like, where did you get that? That is so sick. And she was just like, oh yeah, I went to the charity shop. And I was like, is it? One day my mum would go out to town and invite me along, so I would go along. She would go into charity shops, and because my sister always got really good stuff from charity shops, I thought, hang on a minute, let's see if there's anything here for me. And there was, and the rest is history. And the next question that got asked is opinions on Stone Island. Now, Stone Island has always been like a controversial topic, and I have a little story to go with this. So one day I was going through my Instagram and I saw this girl posted up a picture of her wearing a pink Stone Island sweatshirt with the badge on it. She was really proud of it, she really liked it, but when she went out in her local town, people started making fun of her. Now, I thought this was really out of order, to be perfectly honest. Why did she get laughed at? Why do people have such strong opinions on Stone Island? And I know why. Stone Island has been adopted and has been the face of football hooliganism and general hooliganism for ages now, which in a way it's a shame, because Stone Island is a really good sportswear brand. They don't focus on the message of football hooliganism. If you actually go on the Stone Island website, they're not about any hype. Stone Island's pure message has always been about producing high quality clothing, working with good materials, good fabrics, good textures to produce comfortable clothing with a high quality seal. Personally, that's how I view Stone Island, but I do understand that it is associated with other things. Like, I saw this post in the basement of someone who said, don't wear Stone Island in the Eastern Bloc. He wore Stone Island when he was visiting Eastern Europe and he got beaten up just because he was wearing Stone Island. Just because you wear Stone Island doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad man. football hooligan, or up for a fight. It is a clothing brand, it is what it is, but true fans of Stone Island will know what the brand is really about. It got really deep for a minute there, didn't it? Next question, what do you think of tiens? It's an old school sneaker, it's a done-now sneaker, you have to get a pair of tiens. What is your opinion on reselling? Now this could have a 10-minute video in itself, but long story short, supply and demand has always been around for thousands of years, literally. If clothing brands wanted to get rid of the resellers and reselling culture, they would produce their clothes in the masses. But we all know that isn't the way it is. A lot of your favorite clothing brands will come in limited numbers, and in a way it makes you want them more. And there's always going to be people and budding entrepreneurs to get in on the supply and demand market. I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about resellers. Personally, I don't mind resellers. It's kind of nice to know that if you want an item of clothing, there's always somebody there who can supply that to you. And the next question is, how did you afford clothes when you were younger? The short answer is, I've always had little part-time jobs. I've worked as a waiter, I've worked as a team member in Tesco, the bread and cake section, you done know. However, if you're too young for any of that, then I would actually suggest becoming a reseller of sorts. Maybe open a Depop page and buy and sell clothes on there, that's always quite good. Or get a paper round, if they still exist. What kind of pants, jeans, trousers do you wear with your outfits day to day? Now at the moment I will actually admit that I don't have a lot of pants, jeans, bottoms, shorts, that sorts of thing at the moment, because a lot of my wardrobe is top end based. I've got a lot of t-shirts, jumpers and all that stuff, but I don't have a lot of range bottom wise. So literally the answer to that is one pair of jeans and one pair of trousers. The more range you have, the better. What are your opinion on higher fashion brands such as Venomance, is that how you say it, Rick Owens, Raf Simons, etc, etc, etc? High fashion brands are high fashion brands. I'm really not informed enough to make an honest opinion. And the next question that got asked is, if you could wear one brand for the rest of your life, what would it be and why? Now I know I've already said that my favorite brand is Champion, but if I had to wear one brand for the rest of my life, what would it be? Nike. And why Nike, you may ask? It's because it is the one brand that I have actually worn from day one. And to be perfectly honest, it is probably going to be the brand that sticks with me for the rest of my life. What was your first Supreme item? So the first item that I ever got was a couple of t-shirts from the Supreme and Toshio Mida collection. You know, those weird little hentai t-shirts which no one really wears outside anymore. I wore mine to Dover Street Market and the guy was like, oh, what brand is that t-shirt? When I was wearing my Supreme top. And I was like, Supreme. And then my mate goes, yeah, it's well offensive, innit? And he goes, yeah, it is. Are you mad? What's your all-time Supreme grail? My all-time favourite Supreme item of clothing that I want is the Supreme Thunderbird jersey. Next question, Palace or Supreme? Palace, it's better for banning. I'm pretty sure that joke has been deaded out by now. Your two favourite brands right now. Circling back to the start of the video, one of those is Champion, and the second I would have to say is Gosha. Simply because I am really looking forward to the Fila and Kappa collaboration, and I think I'm definitely going to try and cop. What is your opinion on Palace and Supreme SS16? And what's your favourite piece been from both brands? Now, to be perfectly honest, I would have to say that Palace has won SS16 if it was a competition. I thought Palace did a really good job with this year's Adidas collaboration, brought in some new materials, it was really unique, but what really topped it all off was the Palace and Jonah Hill advert. That advert was amazing. So my favourite piece from Palace from this year's collection is literally anything from the Adidas collaboration, and my favourite piece from the SS16 collection from Supreme would have to be the poncho that I also copped, by the way. One Palace piece you wished you owned. Now this is a really easy question for me. It would have to be the suede penny loafers that they brought out in this season's collection, but unfortunately for me they were £185. I want the penny loafers. And the next question is overall rating of Supreme SS16. This season's collection did have a couple of things that I liked. However, I would say it was very hit and miss. A 6 or 7 out of 10 is pretty fair. What is your favourite pair of sneakers in your collection? Very, very simple answer. My cement 4s. Yeah. Will you include this in your Q&A? Yes. What got you into clothes and where do you see yourself in the future / future goals? What got me into clothes, I would say, is an organic, healthy progression and interest into the world of fashion and style, heavily influenced by streetwear culture. And where do I see myself in the future and future goals? I can't see past lunchtime. Never mind the future. What is your favourite tattoo? My favourite tattoo on my sleeve, I would say, is the stag under my arm here. It was like one of the first tattoos that I got on my sleeve, and I'm really into stags for some reason. Like, I really like stags. I just think they're such a majestic animal. If I was to own a pet, I'd get a pet stag or a deer, you done know. But here is a nice close-up of the stag. Yeah. PS, I live for your videos. Massive thank you, I'm glad you like the channel. Also tattoo related, the next question is, what do each of your tattoos mean to you? Like anything personal. I wish I had a better answer for this, but the answer is no. I got this sleeve because I thought it looked cool. I know a lot of people sit there and they have to have reasons to have a tattoo, which I totally get, I understand that. Like, I have nothing against that. But for me, I just wanted a tattoo and I got one. Do you have a favourite skater? Now specifically, I don't have a favourite skater, but I do have a favourite skate team. Yard Sale have a really good skate team. They have skaters in the US and the UK. I don't know if that's the actual team or if they feature those people, but Yard Sale. I will put a link in the description down below of everything that I've mentioned today, but check out the Yard Sale skate video. Sick. Have you ever been to the US? No, but I would love to. Next question, can you follow me? Yeah, sure. Have you heard of oxidized medicine? Now, I've just Googled it and I found a SoundCloud page. Further research is needed. Thanks for bringing it to my attention. Why is your Instagram so goals? First of all, thank you. Secondly, I do like taking pictures as a hobby. Now, I personally believe that almost any situation, any environment can be a photo opportunity. You've just got to have the right angle to it. My advice would be to just experiment with any camera that you've got, play around with editing, and you'll have the sickest feed, trust me. Next question, how do you cut your hair? What products? And why don't you make a hair video? Your hair is dope AF. Smiley face. First of all, thank you. And secondly, how do I cut my hair? I literally don't. When my hair is long like this, I completely neglect my barber. I haven't been there for at least a couple of months now. He's probably wondering where I am. But when I do finally go to the barber's, he just gives me like a nice little shape up. I don't use any products. I literally come out the shower and it just sort of sorts itself out in a way. And if I did make a hair video, it would literally be 45 seconds of me getting out the shower and drying my hair. That's all I do to it. But thank you for your question about my hair. Next question, what type of music are you into and can you give us an example? Now, I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I'm one of those people that says that they listen to like any music. At the moment, I would have to say that pop music and grime music are my two favorites at the moment. I love a lot of independent stuff and a lot of like BBC introducing stuff, house music forever, majestic casual music, you know, all that stuff. So short answer, everything. And can you give us an example? I'll tell you what, I'll actually make like a Spotify playlist or something and I'll post it in a future video, or I'll post it in the description down below just to give you a taste of what kind of music I'm into, and I hope that helps. Next question, banana milkshake or Fafana filkshake? I think that's an inside joke that I'm not in on. Top 3 favourite YouTubers apart from yourself. My top 3 fashion YouTubers would have to be Mr. Farmer Simpson for sneakers, The Unknown Blasian, and Lucas Fresco. And I'll link all of their channels down below as well. And the last question of the Q&A video is, what is your take on roadmen? Road thief, innit? And that is it. Now, I would just like to say a massive thank you to everyone who asked a question. If you want to if you want to ask a question for the next askm8 video, there's a lot of asks in that sentence, then you can by commenting in the comment section down below of this video, askm8 followed by your question. I'll save it and then it'll be like in the next askm8 video probably. If you like this video, then you can give it a nice little like. If you want to subscribe and see more of what I do, because I do a lot of fashion based stuff, lifestyle based stuff, style based stuff, then you can by using a subscribe button that can be located anywhere on this web page. And now, that is everything. Bye. So on the weekend, me and my friend James went to Slam City Skates, the outlet store in Enfield, not the one in Covent Garden, although I have been to that and that is a pretty good store as well. We went to the outlet store and we was looking for boards for ages, and I finally settled on a setup that I think is perfect for me. Do you want to see it? Here it is.